I put together a crazy parlay with huge odds of 87 from 4 events. Let's break it down. First parlay, first event, Arsenal vs Bournemouth. And here I found a very interesting pick, because at first glance it looks like the league leader should comfortably handle Bayern. But if you dig deeper, a more careful and pragmatic scenario appears, where the key is not a blowout, but control and discipline. Look, Arsenal right now are not playing for entertainment, they are playing for results. Yes, they are pushing for the title, but you can clearly see the team is getting tired. Injuries are piling up, the game has become more closed, less risk, more control. And that immediately affects totals. They are not smashing teams, they are suffocating them. Especially at home, where they have conceded just 1 goal in their last 6 matches. That's a very strong indicator. Plus, they have a clear punter. They scored their 1-2 goals and calmly close the game out. Buddy, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post match analysis every day, and I always try to keep my subscribers in profit. I am also always open up for fair criticism and your well-argued picks in the comment. I read everything. Thanks for the support, let's keep going. Now look at Bournemouth. The team seems to be in a good run without losses, but if you break it down deeper, it's a streak of draws. 5 in a row, and that shows they struggle to finish games. Many matches where they are not worse than their opponent, but it ends 0-0 or 1-1. Plus attacking issues. In 3 of their last 5 matches, they didn't score at all. And that's crucial against Arsenal, who barely allow chances at home. So the betting logic here is very simple. First option, the under. Arsenal play pragmatically, Bournemouth are not very aggressive, so under 3.5 goals looks very solid. Second option, handicap on the hosts. Because the class difference is there, and at home they regularly win by 2 goals. 5 such wins in their last 10 matches. So Arsenal minus 1.5 is a riskier option, but it fits this scenario. And the third option, combined bet. Arsenal win plus under 2.5. That's a bet on a specific scenario, where Arsenal score 1 or 2 goals and close the game without pushing the tempo. So my main pick is under 3.5 goals. With the risk, Arsenal minus 1.5 as a single. And for the wild parlay, Arsenal win plus under 2.5 at 4.1. Guys, here's my Telegram and my stats. I work as transparently and honestly as possible. I even pay taxes as an individual entrepreneur. I am one of the few in this space who actually works openly and fairly. The link is in the description below. First parlay, second event, Liverpool vs Fulham. And here I found very interesting pick, because everyone sees Liverpool's crisis and starts doubting them, even at home. But if you dig deeper, this actually looks like a match for goals and a scenario where the hosts still get the job done. Look, Liverpool are really poor in terms of results right now, especially away, but at home it's a completely different picture. Anfield remains a place where they score a lot and play much more confidently. Even in bad form, they regularly score 2 or 3 goals here. Think about recent games. 4, 5, 6 total goals, meaning at home they compensate for all their struggles. And that's key for betting. At the same time, their defense doesn't hold at all, especially late in games where they have conceded the most in the league. So the scenario they score and concede is already a pattern. Now Fulham, a typical mid-table team that can cause problems but rarely finish games off. Against top teams, they often lose. 7 defeats in 10 matches against top 6. That's a clear indicator. But at the same time, they usually score, especially against Liverpool. They've scored in 7 consecutive head-to-head matches. And that's key, because Liverpool are too unstable defensively right now to keep a clean sheet. So the logic is simple. Liverpool will play on the front foot, create chances. Fulham will not sit deep and will find their moment. So the match points toward goals. My main pick, over 2.5. Because even Liverpool alone can cover it, with risk both teams to score in one of the halves. Because they've changed our goal scenario is very likely. And for the crazy parlay, Liverpool win plus BTTS yes at 2.99. Because Liverpool should still win at home, but without defensive perfection. Second parlay, first event, Pauli vs Bayern. And here I found a very interesting pick, because everyone immediately thinks Bayern will come and destroy them easily. But if you dig deeper, there is a nuance that heavily affects the betting choice. Look, Bayern's priority right now is the Champions League. They have the second leg against Real coming up, and that automatically means rotation. Even if it's not a full second squad, it will not be maximum focus, and that's key. At the same time, even with rotations, Bayern remain a machine in attack. They score consistently, already hit 100 plus goals, and even when trailing, they can easily turn games around. But there is an important detail. They concede regularly, especially away. In 6 of their last 7 away league matches, they've conceded. That's a pattern, not randomness. Now St. Pauli. Not a top team, but very uncomfortable at home. Yes, their XG is low, often below 1, but they still find goals consistently. They've scored in 9 of 13 matches in 2026, and importantly, even against top teams. Plus against Bayern, they've scored in 2 of the last 3 meetings. And this is exactly the type of game where they don't need many chances, just 1 or 2 moments. So the betting logic is simple. First and main pick, St. Pauli to score. Because Bayern with rotation, with thoughts about the Champions League, and with their current defense almost always give opponents a chance. Second, total over. Because even if the hosts score 1, Bayern will still find their 2 or 3 goals. So over 3 is a riskier option, but fits this scenario. And the third option, more aggressive. St. Pauli over 1 goal at high odds. Because if the match opens up and Bayern are not fully focused, the host could even score twice. So my main pick is St. Pauli to score, with risk over 3 total goal as a single, and for the wild parlay, St. Pauli over 1 goal at 2.8. Second parlay and second event, Barcelona versus Espanyol, and here I found a very interesting pick, because everyone immediately thinks about an easy Barcelona win. But if you dig deeper, it's important to approach this through the right markets, not just outcome. Look, Barcelona at home right now is simply a machine. 15 wins out of 15, averaging more than 3 goals per game, and it's not just numbers, it's a stable pattern. They press, break down even deep defenses, and almost always score at least 2 or 3 goals. Plus motivation after the loss to Atletico in the Champions League. They need to respond, and a derby is the perfect match for that. Even with rotation, their squad depth keeps attacking quality high. Now Espanyol. It's important not to look only at results. Yes, they are on a long winless run, but they still score regularly, especially away. 8 goals in 6 matches. At the same time, defense is their weak point. 15 conceded in the same stretch, so they play in a way where they score but also allow chances. And that's key for betting. In a derby, they will not just sit back. There is already a trend. They score in the second half in 10 of 12 away games, so they usually find their moment. Now putting it all together. Barcelona at home almost guarantees 2 or 3 goals. Espanyol likely get a chance to score, but may not convert due to the class difference. So the main pick here is a very logical. Barcelona win plus under 5.5. That's a bet on control without chaos. Second option with risk, BTTS no. Because despite Espanyol trends, Barcelona often shut opponents down at home. And the third option, aggressive, Barcelona over 1.5 goals in the first half. Because they often start strong and can decide the game early. So the main pick is Barcelona win plus under 5.5 in the parlay, with risk BTTS no as a single. And for the wild parlay, Barcelona over 1.5 in the first half at 2.55. Hope you appreciated the detailed breakdown and dropped a like on the video.